Good afternoon. My name's Bob Uvello. I'm here with my good friend Phil Hunt. We're going to play some songs for you. I'm going to lead off with a song that I wrote about a good friend of mine who was out in Montana. He was responsible for my going out there and working with him on a ranch and a whole bunch of other fun stuff over the years. And this is called Montana Dreamer. I got a friend, he's on the road, might be in Montana or Colorado, as he planned, in Wyoming's Grand Tetons, Grand Tetons. He said that he would send for me when the time was right, if he found a ranch that would take us on, or a bar where we could sing our songs, cowboy songs, all night long. I know that he is a dreamer. I know dreamers often fail. If he falls, he'll keep moving on, moving on. It gets lonesome there, and the work is hard. The pay ain't much, but there's room and board. If the city's getting to you, you're gonna love it here, love it here. I know that he is a dreamer. I know that dreamers often fail. If he falls, he'll keep moving on, moving on. I got a friend, he's on the road, might be in Montana or Colorado, as he planned, in Wyoming's Grand Tetons, Grand Tetons. I got a friend, he's on the road, might be in Montana. And now we're going to bring Phil Hunt up.
Hi there. This is one of the first songs I wrote, one of the first few songs I wrote. It's about what a cheapskate I am. I call it Inner Banker. When I want to spend some money or have a little fun, this voice inside my head says, wait a minute, son. It's my inner banker. It's a voice inside my head. Wonder will it ever stop, even when I'm dead? Save it all, keep all your cash, have a nice big funeral bash. My inner banker's tight. My inner banker's tight. My inner banker won't let me buy myself any stuff. Credit cards, debit cards, cash, checks, and bills. Oh, don't you waste a penny on those evanescent thrills. Keep it all, keep all your loot. You can die a rich old coot. I wanted to buy a fruit tree, plant it in my yard, but that inner banker's stingy, man, that inner banker's hard. It said, take that weedy maple, poking up by the fence, dig a hole and plant it. It won't cost you 50 cents. You can get fruit behind the store. Maple tree will save you more. I can't help it. My dad was 14 in 1929. He said, never give up a chance to work. Never waste a dime. My aunt was a bank vice president by the time she was 49. Quite an achievement for a lady of her time. I wanted a trip in Canada upon that via train, but that stupid voice inside my head, it started up again. It said, drink some maple syrup, eat some Canada mints. I told that voice to shut up. Haven't heard it since. Maybe it was right when I'm old. I'll be sorry I've spent all my gold on her. Maybe it won't mean a thing if I die broke. Maybe this is all one big joke on her. And now here's Bob again.
The necessary evil of tuning the guitar. I always think it's a choice between getting the guitar tuned faster or boring you with an inane chatter as I'm trying to tune it and taking longer. I usually come down on the side of just tuning the guitar. So this song is based on a story that a woman told me. It's based pretty closely on the story. I had to make some changes to make it fit the song form, and I've added all the names. There were no names in the story as she told it to me, and but the last line of the story is exactly as I sing it, and it was really one of the parts of the story that really moved me. This is called Summer Rain, and I'm going to have to clear my throat, so I apologize that it is allergy season. Bill and Mary married young, eloped into the foggy night. Their folks said it was wrong, they knew it was right. Settled on a small dirt farm, far from friends and city lights. Bill worked hard and Mary too, supper on the table every night. These days so hot and heavy, Lord, I wish it would just rain. Mary's dad gave her a gun, said you live so far from town. Now this old gun ain't never worked, still might stare somebody down. Mary had no use for guns, hid it straight away, forgotten in a sideboard drawer to make her father happy. These days so hot and heavy, Lord, I wish it would just rain. The years passed like summer storms. 8 kids came, grew and moved away. Bill was drinking hard, more distant every day. Still Mary chose to stay. Now who can say what changes in a day? Mary woke, knew what she must do. That night over chicken grits and gravy, Mary said, Bill, I'm leaving you. These days so hot and heavy, Lord, I wish it would just rain. Bill seemed not to hear, then said, I won't allow it, what would I do? Stormed out and up the road to confide in neighbor Ruth. Hours passed, Mary grew concerned, rose to go to fetch Bill home. She looked up and Bill was there, said, Mary, I love you, you can't go. These days so hot and heavy, Lord, I wish it would just rain. Mary said, I love you, Bill, with each beat of my heart. Can't you see that staying here is tearing me apart? Bill walked to the sideboard, took out that old gun, put the barrel to his head, pulled the trigger once. These days so hot and heavy, Lord, I wish it would just rain. Thunder followed lightning, then came summer rain, falling warm on Mary, the walls and window panes. Time stopped as Mary rocked, searching for an answer. Someone was knocking somewhere. Neighbor Ruth was standing there. Ruth stood there a long time, fussing with her hair. Finally spoke, more to herself than Mary, saying, my, ain't the flies bad this year.
I'm certainly performing in good company here today. There's a creature we used to associate with the West and with Warner Brothers cartoons, but they're pretty common in the East now. And this is a song about him. It's called Blood on the Wind. We smell blood on the wind, and we move through the night on our quiet, fast feet, well away from the light. And we go to the place where the men raise their meat, and we look for a stillborn or an old stray to eat. Now we live in your towns and your cities as well. We come out after sunset in the places we dwell, in a thick patch of briars or a knoll in the marsh. No summer's too hot for us, no winter too harsh. We owe the other ones, we've hunted through your time since you came out of caves when the ice flowed. With all your machines, your traps, and your guns, we'll still be there when you go. Sing after twilight from the woods in the park. If your dog runs to join us, you'll no more hear his bark. We bear the blood of the North Wolves, we know the old ways. We'll be watching the shadows when your race ender stays. We smell blood on the wind. A short one. Thank you. Here's Bob again.
That was a beautiful song, Phil. Nice job. Beautiful song. Really powerful imagery. I sort of think this next song I'm about to do has powerful imagery as well. It's And, I'm going to have a policy, given the format that we're working with here. I'm not going to tell any jokes because there's no audience out in front of me to laugh. Then again, I guess that's not so different. It's most of them fall flat on the floor anyway. But every time I'm going to a performance, before I leave, I think to myself, well, maybe I'll play this song, and then I say, nah, I'm not going to do that one. And I'll be darned, by the time I've driven there, this is pretty much the only song I want to do. It has the poetic title of Potholes and Assholes. And if you've driven in Massachusetts, you know exactly what I mean. And the other part of the song is something that I think we all experience too, and that is you're in the middle of a conversation with a friend, and perhaps you're discussing something rather personal or important in your life, something, shall we say, deep, and their phone rings, and it's as though you disappeared. Anyway, Potholes and Assholes, here we go. One of those days when you hit every pothole in the road. One of those days when every asshole knows your location. Time for a change, you need a vacation. No matter how far you go, they'll be waiting there for you. One of those days you could really use a friend. You're pouring your heart out, you got a caring ear to bend. What is it you were saying? Sure sounded heavy. Hold that thought, man, My phone is ringing, might be someone important. One of those days when you hit every pothole in the road. Just one of those days when every asshole knows your location. Time for a change, you need a vacation. No matter how far you go, they'll be waiting there for you. They'll be waiting there for you. That was a short one, mercifully.
Short but sweet. Short but sweet.
Sweet, that's the word that comes to mind.
Right on, right on. A couple of incidents on our ride down this morning, I think, gave Bob even more conviction when he sang that song. I've been on a few really great train rides put together by an outfit up in Bellows Falls, Vermont, and we've had a performance car, and we've been in sleepers, like in the old Three Stooges when they're on the circus train, and afternoon song circles, and they're great times. And the best thing about them isn't the performers you get to hear, although that's great. It's the community you form with the people you're on those trips with. After the first trip, the best part of a Roots in the Rails trip was always the first night when you go to get your tickets and your badges and stuff, and you see your friends, your fellow travelers. It is just, there was such warmth in that community. Amtrak has made some changes, and I don't know if Roots in the Rails is going to be able to do any of their trips anymore, but a couple of, maybe more than a couple by now, of our train friends have gone along to whatever's after this life, and we miss them. And this short song's for them. You're still on the train, you're just on another car. We've been so very close, you can't be very far. We feel you in the song, we hear you hum the tune. Your light hand somehow touches us, we know we'll see you soon. We've rode and sung together down endless miles of rail, building our own rhythms with love that will not fail. The journeys end too quickly, the memories never do. When we board our next train, we'll know you're boarding too. Rolling and rocking, singing and talking, far into the dark good night, a gentle hug. Rocking and rolling, my heart's been stolen by your sweet smile, gives my soul a tug. When our twilight comes to us, we'll board our final train. A quick ride through the darkness, then we'll see our friends again. We'll rumble toward the setting sun, we'll roll on through the sky. You know my heart is yours, I know your heart is mine. The wind in our faces, we'll hear the diesels roar. Already in paradise, no need to ask for more.
Phil keeps doing these short songs. It does not give me much time to rest over there. Truth be told, that last song I did to get even. That's a really short one. Most of my songs are long. Kidding, of course. This is a song that I wrote not long after Veterans Day last year. I know that politics maybe more now than any time that I can remember is kind of the third rail, and not many people agree on very many things, it seems. But something, I'd say, took place, but actually there were a couple of things that didn't take place that really struck me. And I could be dead wrong. It's happened. But I'd have to think that whichever side of the political fence you find yourself these days, I would think and I would actually hope that you would have been offended when the when the president had the opportunity to visit the cemetery in France with the French president. He declined, and reportedly the reason was that it was windy and raining. And then when he returned to the U.S. on Veterans Day, uncharacteristic of an American president, he did not visit Arlington Cemetery. And you can think what you will of that, but it is what inspired this song. I started thinking about a lot of the people who were there at Arlington. This is called The Fallen. At the best of my knowledge, all of the facts cited within the song are accurate. The names were added. My name is Billy Darby. I died in 1918, fighting in the spring offensive, the Battle of Cantigny. I came from Kansas. It was my dream to one day be a farmer, till the rich black soil. But my blood mixed with the mud on the far-off fields of France. How I prayed, it was not in vain. Now the commander will not come to Arlington. Something about the wind and rain. The sun still rises on the monuments of Arlington. My name is Sal Romano. I died in the year of 44. We stormed the shores of Normandy, the last sunrise I would ever know. I came from Brooklyn. It was my dream to one day be a tailor, like my father and his before. But my blood turned the sea foam red on the rocky coast of Normandy. How I prayed, it was not in vain. Now the commander will not come to Arlington. Something about the wind and rain. Moon still sits on the monuments of Arlington. My name's Jose Estrella. I died in 1966. An operation they called Marauder on the shores of the Mekong Delta. I came from California. It was my dream to one day be a father and an American. But my blood flowed into the waters of the muddy Mekong, mother of all rivers. How I prayed, it was not in vain. Now the commander will not come to Arlington. Something about the wind and rain. Tonight a cold wind moans through the monuments of Arlington. My name is Leroy Richmond. I died in the year of 2010. I tripped a roadside bomb south of Kandahar in a province that's known as Helmand. I came from Alabama. It was my dream to one day be a lawyer, to defend my brothers. But my blood seeped into the sand of a foreign land called Afghanistan. How I prayed, it was not in vain. Now the commander will not come to Arlington. Something about the wind and rain. Tonight a cold wind moans through the monuments of Arlington. Tonight a cold wind cries for the silent souls at Arlington.
I heard Bob do that at the Catbird a few Catbirds ago, and I think it was maybe late in the evening, or maybe not so late, but I won't say I was half listening, but I caught what it was about before too long. Very, very moving. That commander, before he got elected, there was a lot of talk about military service and John McCain not being such a hero, and a lot of hot air. And the president said somebody had sent him a Purple Heart, and his reaction was, "Oh, I always wanted a Purple Heart." And I have to wonder, does that man understand? I don't know. A lot of people don't know what a Purple Heart is. It signifies that the bearer suffered a wound from an enemy weapon. That's what a Purple Heart means. It can be a graze, it can be fatal, but the Purple Heart means you took a bullet for your country. Anyway, but this song I usually only do in the Veterans Day show at the New England Wildlife Center, but in the wake of Bob's song, I think I'll give it a shot. It's not anti-war, although a lot of people might think it is. It's not anti-military. It's more about the imbalance of things. It's called Somebody's Boy. Somebody's boy, coming home wrapped in a flag. Somebody's pal, somebody's friend, in a green body bag. Somebody's lover, somebody's son, somebody's life now forever undone. I hope there isn't hope that it sounds, putting this boy under the ground. Somebody's daughter, somebody's girl, floating between life and death. She'll never walk, she'll never speak, can't even draw her own breath. Peacekeeping mission alone in her Jeep, drove over a mine, the crater so deep. The mash saved her life, that's all they could save. Now she just waits for the peace of the grave. Don't blame the ones in uniform, the ones who stand in harm's way. Blame the policy makers who lock up at 5, go home for the rest of the day. War in the desert, war in the hills, enemy hard to put down. Collateral damage, villagers killed makes a scene all around. We can't solve the ills of a world half away. It's a mistake to try. We can't cure young minds of the horrors they've seen. They'll carry them until they die. 4th of July, go to the parade, light up the Gillen Field Grand. You don't have the sense to take off your hat when the colors pass by where you stand. Some of us serve, most of us don't. Some of us sacrifice, most of us won't. This is America's new great divide, how so few serve, the rest get a free ride. Somebody's bored, somebody's bored.
That was very powerful, Phil. I hope it's okay to mention this. I hope Phil doesn't mind. But Phil, I know, has a Bronze Star. Phil, were you awarded a Purple Heart as well?
No, I had the good luck not to do it. I was awarded a Bronze Star.
Well,
it wasn't for a combat operation, it was for something else. But I was in harm's way.
Well,
but thank you,
impressive. So I did a song to start off called Montana Dreamer. Some decades later, I wrote a song called Dreams of Montana. It's, I guess I would describe it as a nostalgic look back at many of the adventures and experiences and good times that took place there in Montana. And this is called Dreams of Montana. Dreams of Montana and those icy blue eyes, the white peaks around us, it's 1975. The sun's heat caresses our summer brown skin. Somehow I believe these days will never end. Time leaves only memories, yours or someone else's of you. We're flashes of light on a river racing through deep canyons of years flowing by. Long days of endless blue skies, cold nights filled with song, the high cries of coyotes out beyond the light of our fire, slow winding rivers, black skies bright with stars. The long roads lead to small towns. We're singing songs in old cowboy bars. Time leaves only memories, yours or someone else's of you. We're flashes of light on a river racing through deep canyons of years flown by. Dreams of Montana and those summer blue skies. The white peaks surround us, it's 1975. Somehow I believed those days would never end. Dreams of Montana. And I hear the sound of footsteps, and that can only mean one thing. That means that Phil Hunt is about to take the microphone. And here he is.
I hope I didn't keep you all waiting too long. I beg pardon all around. Yeah. In the 1840s, the governments of two of the states of northern Mexico put out a cash bounty for the scalps of Apache Indians. They thought these Indians were such a problem, they were stopping Mexicans from settling these northern provinces. Of course, who was there first? Wonder about these things. More than one group of Americans formed groups of scalp hunters that went and did just what the name implies. They scalped Native Americans, they scalped other people as well, and made gold from the Mexican governments for doing that. The most well-known is Glanton, Glanton, and in Cormac McCarthy's novel Blood Meridian, he covers Glanton in gruesome detail. And I thought about it, and the song is called Scalp Hunters. We scouted for the army when it suited our needs. My company, black, white, and red, and Mexicans and blues. But our real prize was the bounty from Sonora, Mexico, for wild Apache here, so scouting we did go. We had the latest Colts. Our rifles were the best. Our knives were sharp. How many times we put them to the test? We jumped them on the trail. We'd hit their camp asleep. From the entrance to the old ones, our bloody harvest. Treasure for scalps turned from flesh still warm. We'd take our pay in cursed Mexican gold. I'm Glanton. My men are the scalp hunters. Our bloody tales seldom told. We'd fall on Mexicans or other tribes, take their hair as well, count our gold and eat and drink and earn our time in hell. No one raised an eyebrow, the black hair looked the same. We'd have our pay and let the Apache take the blame. We took a ferry from the Pimas on the Gila's muddy flow. We took some of their women, told the rest to go. But they came back with vengeance, few of us got away, and the spirits of our victims haunt the wasteland to this day. Treasure for scalps torn from flesh still warm. We take our pay in bloody Mexican gold. I'm Glanton, my men are the scalp hunters. Our bloody tales seldom told. Now, how could humans do such things is a question you might ask. Enough money on the table, you'll find men to do the task. 200 years ago, 100 years from now, when it comes to making money, some people don't care how.
Wow, Phil, I've never heard you do that song. That's a great song. That is a really, really, really good song. Wow, what imagery! And I also wasn't aware of the incident that Phil mentioned that inspired the song. And so this was taking place so that the Mexicans could settle without like how things have changed.
Who was raiding and killing? Kill them all.
Things have
And
changed.
this was in the 1840s, around the time of the American.
When you were young, when Phil was in the 1840s, when Phil was just a boy. So I'm sure there'll be payback coming down the road on that one. So don't you be feeling sorry for Phil. He'll find a way to I'll pay. But so living in contemporary society is it can be challenging, but it is just great for songwriting. It really is. This song takes on some of the lighter aspects of the irritating aspects of contemporary life. This is called Walls and Fences, and I haven't done this in a while, but I think the let's see, make sure that one is that one's there. Okay, I brought all the chords, so I should be able to do it. It seems so hard these days to make a new friend, someone you always can depend on. We become so good at building walls and fences, not so skilled at open doors and windows. It seems so strange in a world where we count our friends in thousands, yet live alone behind cell phones and defenses. We meet for coffee, talk politics, complain about the weather, ask how you doing, not looking for an answer. No fault, no blame, only misplaced expectations. It seems so strange in a world where we count our friends in thousands, yet live alone behind cell phones and defenses. We know our old friends are truly priceless treasures. When they move on, part of us goes with them. Tellers of our stories, singers of our songs. This seems so strange in a world where we count our friends in thousands, yet still alone behind cell phones and defenses. It seems so hard these days to make a new friend.
keen observer of modern life we have here. I put this one in the category of sappy, kind of countryish love songs. I just call it Waiting. Waiting for the shoe to drop, waiting for the axe to fall, sitting in a coffee shop, waiting on my sweet baby doll, waiting for the storm to break, waiting for the rain to start, anticipating that familiar ache in my foolish pushover of a heart. Maybe I'm mistaken, and I won't be forsaken after all. After all, it's just as lack of motion that's given me the notion that we might be headed for a fall. My clever wit must have lost its touch. My quips don't make her smile half as much. I hope I can come up with something new without looking like I'm worried that we're through. And walk I adore, waiting for that warm, sweet smile that'll tell me not to worry for a while. I know she needs some distance, but I got no resistance to those eyes. Oh, those eyes. If my absence makes her fonder, maybe she won't wander and I'll spend more time with the guys. Guess I won't know until I try. I hope we can avoid a goodbye. I guess I'll have another cup of joe and wonder how I'll take it if she goes. I guess I'll have one more cup of joe, wonder how I'll take it if she goes. There you go.
Oh, another nice one, Phil. That was excellent. Really enjoyed that. So I wrote this some time ago, but have reworked it and put it back in the rotation, as it were. Thought it was sadly more appropriate now. Even when I wrote it, I heard a statistic recently that I thought was absolutely shocking. The life expectancy in the United States has actually declined. And I believe that is for the first time. I'm not going to stand on that, but I think it's for the first time. But at any rate, since the last time they put out the figures, the life expectancy has declined, and it's attributable to one factor, and that is deaths from the opioid crisis. Now, this is a song about addiction. It's called Potions. The only peace I find is in sadness, sore and wine, as the sun has sunken low. I feel the madness slowly go as my veins fill with potion. My legs prepare to make a stand when the room goes into motion. I know somehow I could stand my ground. I could only find the floor. I wake each day amazed by the cold of the light of the morning sun. Cold of the light of the morning sun. I'm a man of many rooms, there's some I've never seen. The rooms are cold and the halls are bare, but the potion keeps me warm. Visions hang on every wall like dreams that never end. I've made a plan to take my leave. I just can't find the door. I wake each day amazed by the cold of the light of the morning sun. Cold of the light of the morning sun. The only peace I find is in sadness or in wine, as the sun has sunken low. I feel a madness slowly go as my veins fill with potion. My legs prepare to make a stand when the room goes into motion. I know somehow I could stand my ground. If I could only find the floor. I wake each day amazed by the cold of the light of the morning sun. Cold of the light of the morning sun.
Very powerful, very apt, considering all this that we're enduring now. I sometimes wonder if all of this is an unrecognized mechanism in an overpopulated species to get rid of itself. Think of other songs on that topic. The Damage Done by Neil Young. Sylvia Tyson had one called The Needle of Death. And there are others. This next one is going to be another one inspired by those train trips I took, a mixture of the train trips, my long fascination with the West, and the romance associated with cowboys and all that. And Bob here will tell you there is no romance. Ian Tyson, the great Canadian singer and songwriter, once posed a question, what do you think is the best thing about being a cowboy? And he said, it's the horses. Without the horses, it would just be another crummy job, which surprised me because I thought it was the ranch dressing. But I know some of you out there are laughing at that one. I opened my fridge and saw an Italian dressing. What do you think of that? I better stop. Anyway, this is just called Train Rest. Rolling through the prairies in the observation car, see the moon rising beside the evening star. Rising in the east, I am headed west. Wonder what I'll find after traveling so far. I left that eastern city, red brick and salty air. Did my share at clerk and saved enough to pay my fare. Keep some money in my pocket, it jingles with the train. When I get to Elko Station, I wonder who'll be there. Too long, too short, one long. When we cross the lonesome road, the engine sings its song. If I can't find her, if I learn that she is gone, I'll try to raise some money with whatever I can pawn. Buy myself a saddle, learn the cowboy trade. Ride the lonesome nighthawk, whistle up the dawn. To the coyote's tune, I'll ride all alone. The songs of the prairie would melt the heart of stone.
Another fine one from Phil. Love those images of the West. Going to be leaving soon to ride the range on a Mustang. Actually, I'm going to be driving around in a Mustang, but details, picky. But to play off of what Phil was saying, that Ian told him about the horses, this will explain my somewhat dour remembrances of being a cowboy. I asked, when I first got there, which horse I'd be riding, and after the laughter died down, they pointed to a Jeep that was looked like it was worth about $200 and would not be legal to drive on the road. And so what I got to do was ride along the fence with a bunch of posts in the back and a roll of barbed wire and all kinds of evil-looking tools. And when there was wire down, put some new wire up, and when there was a fence post down, put a new fence post in. And I'm going to slip off camera for 1 second. I left my flat pick over there. I need it. Did you miss me? Anyway. So in keeping this whole theme going, this is called 8 Second Ride. And I'm sure all of the bull riders and bronc riders out there who are watching this today know exactly what that means. That is the amount of time you need to stay on the bull or the bronc to qualify. And but this is really a song about a song for everyone who really gives it their all and comes up a little bit short. And it's also dedicated to a certain 7-year-old boy who jumped off of a second-story porch with his arms outstretched because Superman was very, very popular on the television at that time. And in his defense, I've always said that I don't believe he thought he could fly. I believe he thought there would be a reasonable glide path. But two broken arms anyway. This is called 8 Second Ride. Who was that? Who did that? He thought he could fly, I mean really fly. All he found was the ground, rushing up like some great truth that would not be denied, that could not be denied. There was no way to hide. He flew and he failed, it cannot be denied, but damn it all, at least he knows he tried. He believed to stand out from the rest, he only had to be the best. All he found is that gravity ain't the only thing gonna hold you down, 'cause they'll cut you down to size if you can. Cut you down to size, cut you down, cut you down, cut you down. He flew and he failed, it cannot be denied, but damn it all, at least he knows he tried. He thought he could fly, I mean really fly. All he found was the ground, rushing up like some great truth that would not be denied, that could not be denied. There was no way to hide. He flew and he failed, it cannot be denied, but damn it all, at least he knows he tried. Yeah, he flew and he failed, it cannot be denied, but damn it all, at least he knows he tried. Yeah, damn it all, at least he knows he tried. Thank you so much for listening. Phil's going to close us out now with one last song, and thanks once again.
Great songs, Bob. Great songs. There's the experience powers a lot of Bob's songs. You can feel it in the words. Unlike me, very different experiences. It's a good thing this is the last song, because I think I'm about out of songs right now. I just finished writing this one this past week. The opening line, "Frost on the prairie, ice in the pan," had been in my mind for a long time, and I thought I could work a song around that. And I was trying to do one about in the days of the wagon trains, occasionally a wagon or two would leave the train. They'd think somebody told them about a better way, a cutoff that would get them where they were going. Sometimes that led to awful tragedies like the Donner Party, where there were cannibalism, and I don't know how to write about that. Then the poor man realized what he'd had for dinner was his poor wife's thighs. But anyway, that might be too raw for this.
Sing the song, Phil. Just sing the song.
But I just wound up making a song about the onset of age, the onset of winter, and frost in the prairie. Frost in the prairie, ice in the pane. Winter's first footsteps are brushing the plains. Jackrabbits hiding, coyotes hunting. November sunlight on the cow horse's mane. The creeks are low, the sky's turning slate gray. The great V's of migrating birds flying south. This time of year on a day like today, my mind goes back to the times of my youth. Cattle down from the old high summer pasture, kindling in cordwood by the gridiron stoves. If I break a guitar string, I know I'll have music. Gray wolves will be singing from the cottonwood grove. I'm no longer supple, I'm no longer limber. Too long in the saddle is hard on my back. I no longer cut wood in the riverside timber. A truck from a feed store delivers a stack. Off to the west I see snow on the mountains. Late in the day they glimmer like gold. I wrap myself up in a Pendleton blanket. As I drift off to sleep, the memories unfold. Where the cattle came down from the high summer pasture, oak throwing heat from that old iron stove. Winds making song, wind in the prairies, gray wolves singing in the cottonwood grove. Thanks for listening. Been a pleasure to share the bill here with my friend Bob, and been a lot of fun. Thank you.